based on the walk-in, the player introduction, that it seems that Cloud9 has more fans here. So maybe the crowd here is cheering for the underdog.
But yeah, I mean, they definitely are the underdog. I mean,
yeah.
Let's face it, any team going up against EG, you would probably assume that EG is not the underdog. So with that being said, I really love the way that Cloud9 just immediately banned Jakiro. I was actually talking to our in-game observer, Webba, shout out to him, by the way, for doing all the observing all day, every single day. And I was like, yep, they're just going to ban Jakiro, because that's the hero that I think kind of let VP run 2 games over on them.
Definitely, and you know, PPD is like, hey guys, look at this is my strat, it's working pretty well. Maybe they'll run it back, but again, Jakiro's a big core part of that, so none of that early game tower pressure. Cloud9 likes to drag the game out a little bit longer, and EG very good at applying pressure early on.
Yeah, it's a very core ban, because they did run Jakiro with Enigma before, and did so much with it. I mean, when you can both slow down the tower attack and have some summon push along with it, it's just tremendous damage that you deal in the early phase. So C9, I talked about it earlier on our little predictions as well, they need to find a way to break EG's strong laning phase. You can't really just rely on doing the same thing as you did against VP there, because they will punish you.
It's really interesting to me that this draft goes by, like the first 2 bans come out, Batrider, Vengeful Spirit from Evil Geniuses, 2 heroes that Cloud9 have been using to great success today. I mean, well, I think those are in large why they were able to take those games off of VP as well in the later stages.
It's a small adaptation to what EG have been banning most of the tournament, which has been Vengeful ET every single game. Yeah. But this is just saying, hey, Bone 7, you have a pretty good bat. We'll ban it.
Definitely respect-worthy, in my opinion. And now Evil Geniuses, they have their chance to get a Lycan, something that we don't often get a chance to see, as Cloud9 actually took out Jakiro and Brewmaster instead. So did they want to go for it that early? Did they want to give themselves the opportunity to have that kind of push potential, the Roche potential? They are dire side, by the way.
Yeah, and they have run it plenty of times already in this bracket. 3 times, I believe, in the bracket that I've seen at least.
Have they lost with it?
No.
They haven't lost a single game.
They haven't lost with it. So they are going to get their hands on a Lycan once again.
Dear God. But it's you can't really blame C9. Talked to a lot of people about this before, and I don't think that you can win EG by out-drafting them. There's always going to be some strong combinations coming out from EG. Their drafts have always looked solid on the laning stage, on the mid-game, late game, and they have signature players on many heroes. What you need to do is come up with something yourself that works well and play really good. That's how you beat EG, but that's a tough order.
Well, see if Cloud9 are able to get something else. I mean, they do get Puck, right? That's one of the heroes that we said that we'd like to see Fata have more often.
Yeah.
And he's got maybe one of the strongest heroes that he possibly plays in his arsenal now for this first game of the Grand Final Series. And Ogre Magi coming out from Evil Geniuses as well.
Yeah, but Puck, despite being one of his best heroes, you could definitely exploit it on the mid lane. Templar Assassin is a very, very hard counter. We've seen RTZ play it in the mid lane. Obviously, though, that's going to be his Lycan. I'm pretty sure that RTZ is playing the Lycan, but I mean, fair. Who says he can't play a good TA? He plays a good anything, in fact.
I think EG might just be comfortable putting the Lycan against the Puck. I don't really think it's that bad of a matchup for him, especially since they often say, we always go bottle on our Lycan regardless, and I think if you can just wolf spam, it's very annoying for Puck, especially once you start getting to like 3 and 5. Those wolves actually do a ton of harassment.
Wow. Just like guns a-blazing, people are picking just their own signature hero. They're not afraid of being countered. I like it. It's like you play your best strat, we play our best strat, and we are going to just outplay each other.
Yeah, this is really a nice mentality to have for C9. Normally, I would say picking Terrorblade early shows what you're going to do, but there's no doubt that EG would ban it out in the second phase, and this is what C9 have been playing the most impressively. Their Terrorblade has just had so much success with the DD runes, Illusion runes, etc. being bottled. Envy just plays this really well.
I love the Enigma ban as well from Cloud9. Just giving another ode there to Zai. He played a phenomenal Enigma the other day. A hero that Evil Geniuses probably play more, I would say, than any other team right now, at least in the Western scene. They're very good at playing greedy with it, and some teams have actually tried to adapt a bit in that style. I think VP actually picked it today in one of their matches, and I just think that hero is going to see a heck of a lot more play soon.
Yeah, definitely soon. And Zai even had fun buying the Aghanims on his Enigma. The game was pretty much over at that stage, though, but if you ever get to that luxury, he hurts so much. Doesn't even need someone to help him.
I think actually the most important hero drafted here so far is not the Lycan, not the Terrorblade, nor the Puck. It's actually Ogre Magi. Because Lycan, Terrorblade, a ton of these teams, and these 2 teams in particular, focus on getting the bottle, right? We need a ton of rune control early on. And having supports that allow you to check and, in fact, bully away any other core that comes for the rune is Ogre Magi. So I feel like, for example, AEI, he plays a ton of Zeus. Zeus is not a hero that you want to send to the rune and secure the rune, because he can't. Ogre Magi can. So I think a lot of these 5 games, if it does go to 5, is fought a lot on at the rune spot.
Yes, I agree completely. Both EG and C9 know exactly how important it can be to just get one of those Rune of Destinies. And of course, we will see both teams checking out a lot. What do you expect that EG want to pair up with their Lycan in this game? Obviously, such a versatile team that I don't judge you for being wrong, but what do you think that they want to go for?
I don't know. I think when you're playing against TB, you still have some sense of urgency, because TB late game versus Lycan, you're still going to get shredded as a Lycan, and it's not many heroes that you can say that. They do go with the Zeus, so this could be support. It
could be core, yeah.
It could be a core as well. It could be Fear playing on the Zeus, so we'll have to see. Since Jakiro's banned out, Panda's banned out, I'm kind of leaning towards it being a core, especially since against Terrorblade, having an over-leveled Zeus against Terrorblade is so nice. Like, you burst down incredibly hard. I kind of want to see EG go for another Titan, but I also feel like that would make their lanes a little bit weird.
At the same time, who said this isn't a mid ogre? We saw Fair bring it out. You get quick level 6. You give 2 multicast to Terrorblade, he's dead. So it's really hard for Cloud9 to predict. And it's
Cloud9 are going to take the ET. Okay.
That's a very late Elder Titan pickup as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he has been rated top pick, pretty much first pick most of the games in Dreamleague overall. So getting all the way to 3rd pick here, as Puck and Terrorblade are rated really high by C9. And of course, EG happily taking up that Lycan.
I think Cloud9 had to pick Elder Titan there. I think if Evil Geniuses were able to get their hands on it, that their damage output would be incredibly high. Like, you have a hero who already builds Vlad's and AC in the Lycan, and then you have Elder Titan on top of that. I don't know. I think it would have just been ridiculous to deal with, even if their laning phase might have been considered even marginally weaker for it.
Yeah, even the Zeus combination with AT would be so crazy. But same thing goes the way of C9 now. You have the Elder Titan along with the Terrorblade. That can really shred the enemy team down. And Ogre, one of the heroes with really, really high base armor. So you can punish here.
I would actually say, now, I'm curious as to what you think about this, but against heroes like Lycan in particular, I actually feel like Elder Titan is weaker because Lycan builds into Vlad's, he builds into AC, 2 really high armor items that just buff your team pretty significantly. And in the later game, like, sure, if it was like a PA or maybe an AM or something like that, you would say the Elder Titan was going to crush, but I really don't feel like Natural Order is as good against what Evil Geniuses has as it is normally.
Oh yeah, I mean, Lycan is just like a Brewmaster, just a hero that can buff up your team. Yeah. But it's also assuming he gets to that point fairly quickly. And Terrorblade, we saw in the last game how quickly he can peak. So there might not be an Assault Cuirass by the time the Elder Titan TB combo is relevant. But Lycan is a nice hero against it at any rate. And also good against Terrorblade because of their reflection, not bothering him at all.
Yeah. I also think that Elder Titan, despite the Natural Order not being too useful in this matchup like you talked about, Andy, he's also very important for checking Roche. I mean, love to sneak Roche if you're EG. And Cloud9 the same here. And we're going to see a Dazzle pickup. A hero that we haven't seen for a while. And, you know, the minus armor, grants vision, it's really good against Terrorblade.
I think it's actually more for the additive armor to their team.
Sure. I mean, either way, right? The Grave is amazing, too.
It's so good against Elder Titan. We've seen a few Dazzle picks in this tournament. Every single time I get so happy to see it. We saw it played by Aoi earlier on. I can't really remember how all the Dazzle games have been going, but it is a hero that I feel should fit this meta really well. And happy to see EG running here in game 1 already.
It feels like there's going to be a Universe Prophet coming up because it allows you to instant gank of TP, make trees, a ton of damage with Dazzle. The Dazzle heal works well with the Lycan summons as well. And it gives them the early game push, the late game power. The lanes are already very well developed. You have Zeus mid, Lycan, safe lane, Prophet off lane. But we'll wait for what EG picks up last because they are very versatile. And you know, if they want to do some wonky offensive trialing, maybe it's doable. Maybe not with these heroes, though.
A little bit gimmicky, maybe too gimmicky to go offensive.
I mean, PBD has sometimes, you know, Dirge YOLO strats, right? He talked about it this morning. Fair was not too impressed with that strat, but hey, they won.
I'm more interested in seeing like dual lanes in general because EG is one of the teams that know the power of just putting like Universe and Zai on the offlane, securing a pretty good time down there. and then kind of secure more than one lane. That mentality seems to work really well in this current patch.
All right, well, EG, they take out the Bane. That's going to be their ban here. Of course, Cloud9 are looking for a secondary support. We're assuming it's going to be Ali on the Elder Titan again for the second game in a row. And same for Envy with his Terrorblade, and I believe Fata for his Centaur, so...
I mean, Bane would be amazing against Lycan.
Yeah.
It's so strong. You can just enfeeble him, and of course, even when he gets BKB, you could grip him. So it would be a very, very strong pickup, and PPD plays it himself, so he probably... This is partly him saying, I know how good this hero is, you're not getting him.
You can make the argument that once Lycan gets Necrobook and the Wolf out, yeah, you could grip him, but the Wolf are probably going to kill you quick, but more so I think in the laning stage. He does high burst damage, you get level 6, that's almost instantaneously free kills. So yeah, it's a very powerful early to mid game house that gives you late game disabled through BKB. Sven coming out from EG.
There we go, all the armor coming up. You know, we talked earlier to some players about why are you not playing Sven? And I can't remember who it was that said, but they were just not impressed at all. Oh, it was Matumba Man over on
because we suggested Sven for like counter to ET Aura.
Yeah.
He's like, nah.
Not impressed.
Not impressed. Well, we'll see if it's going to be impressive because...
I mean, it's more about like the guaranteed stun, right? Like you get Sven stun, Ogre stun, Zeus ulti, Dead Terrorblade. I mean, it's still a very good hero for clearing illusions as well, which I think up until this point EG kind of lacked. So you get the good cleave going, you put it in a core position, and you're just good to go.
I mean, this is one of those games where C9 is not even guaranteed to have the strongest late game by any means at all.
Yeah.
Because Sven, Dazzle, Lycan, and Ogre Magi with the Bloodlust, even Zeus scales really well into late game. So sure, you have the Terrorblade, you will have a lot of power in the mid game, but maybe with all this armor, EG can take fights at that point. I like the approach that PPD has gone into here.
Yeah, Warcry is ridiculous. 16 armor.
Yeah, and you have it almost all the time.
Yeah, it's got a 50% uptime at level 4 if you level it. So, very, very good ability. See what Cloud9's answer to this is going to be. And they're going to go for the Treant, which I like a lot, actually.
Hey, man, Overgrowth, you have no answer unless you BKB.
It's so good against Lycan and Sven for that reason. Like these are heroes that are strength heroes. So sometimes you see some agility cores go Manta and BKB as well. So you can like preemptively BKB, save your Manta for an Overgrowth. But you actually can't do that if you're Sven and Lycan because the heroes don't naturally progress into those items. So
here's the thing. I'm very concerned about Cloud9's damage output. Treant is not really a hero that's notable for late game damage, and against
Centaur,
all of the,
I mean, Centaur.
Centaur is great. That's good mid game spell damage. But if you look at the ultra late game, where just right click matters,
ultra late game they don't win.
It's terribly against the world, right? Like so, I think Cloud9 is working with the clock here. A mid game clock, they need to finish. They need to go ahead and finish the game around 35-45 minutes.
I mean, you sound like a nervous C9 fanboy, but even then, you know, the mid game timing they have is very strong with Terrorblade here. That's true. But late game, for sure, EG had
By the way, I don't appreciate to be called by a nervous C9 fanboy. I'm just a C9 representative.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Used to be a fanboy.
Used to...
Damn.
Whoa.
No. I definitely hope C9 do well. I'm actually just a fan of good Dota.
Yeah.
Like, all of these drafts, all of these picks, like Treant, Dazzle, we don't see these heroes too much. Sven? Can you imagine Aghanim Sven?
It could.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Be really nice here. I mean, Aghanim on Sven is amazing. At first time,
base damage, right?
First time I heard it, I thought that it just gives 80% aura to your teammates. Actually gives it to yourself as well. So you get a really good ulti. And it is pretty worth buying, but often you need to BKB first. And there are so many good items for Sven to pick up.
All right, well, we're just waiting on Pylai PC here because apparently it has decided to randomly shut itself off, which is not great. But we'll be back into the game here in just a minute. And now, we're looking right now. We see Universe playing Sven. So are we possibly going to see those dual lanes that you were talking about, Warga?
Yeah, I definitely think there's an option for them to run dual lanes by Ogre, Sven. Pretty interesting lane. They could go aggressive as well, bring down PPD on his Dazzle. But it completely comes down to how they want to play it. Either way, it is going to be Fear over on Zeus. And that was probably one of the bigger questions, like, is it a core Zeus, is it not? It is going to be a core Zeus, and it's so strong, getting early levels against the Terrorblade.
Well, I'm just terrified for TB in particular, because you get, like, double stun Zeus. That is a nightmare for a hero who has one of the worst... Actually, I think he does have the worst strength gain in the game. It's like 1.4 or something like that. It's completely abysmal, so until he starts getting some HP up, he's definitely going to have to stick to his signature off-map farming and not really show himself too often.
Is anybody else sad that the fact that Fear is not playing the Sven? Because, you know, he's got the free-to-play
I mean, that
Sven
is his set, actually, I think the Universe is wearing, right?
So, you know, it's his hero.
Yeah, it is.
But
Free to Fear.
looks like we're back in Game 1 of Cloud9 versus Evo Geniuses for DreamHack Winter 2014 Grand Finals. This should be a very exciting best of 5. On the Radiant side is Cloud9. Going on to the bottom lane, we have AI 2000 playing the Elder Titan, Bone 7 on the Centaur. In the mid lane, looks like it's going to be Envy playing the, well, actually, he's going up top now, Terrorblade. Highlight Die, scouting with a tree, and last but not least, it's going to be Fata Puck.
Yeah, maybe they want to dodge here because, of course, going up against Zeus as Terrorblade is very scary. So laning stage, very important. C9 trying to get the good matchups here.
Yeah, we'll go over EG really quick before the creeps clash. We got Zai playing on the Ogre Magi. Sven actually going to be handled this game by Universe. It's a bit interesting. Of course, middle lane, we got that Fear Zeus we've already talked so much about. Dazzle going to be played by PPD. And of course, that leaves Arteezy on his Lycan.
And it seems that it's just going to be the Puck against Zeus on mid lane. Still a pretty good matchup for Zeus, though, as it's very difficult to dodge any of the damage output that he deals. And PPD not really going to be down on bottom, going to roam a little bit here. And we do see the dual off-lane start, at least from EG. Pretty much expected.
So, if you're Cloud9 right now, obviously your highest priority is hitting that peak timing that you were talking about during the mid-game, where you have like 25, 30 minutes in, maybe you have your Manta Scotty, like that's your ideal progression, I guess, in most games. You kind of want to end it there, right? Like that's your goal.
I think so, yeah. And I'm worried for C9 here, just by the fact that they have a peak where they need to be strong. And EG, with all the armor, maybe it could be really difficult for a Terrorblade to do as much as he normally does. Is he going to be sneaky here? They're trying to do some stuff here.
I don't think they get the kill.
I don't think so. Unless Fear goes out of position.
Yeah, Fear knows. I mean, he's going to stay back in Arc.
Oh, he might, but yeah, they're not going to get this.
I mean, it's painfully obvious at this point now that Envy's not in lane farming. He can, in theory, be jungling. There's always that option, but
now it's even more obvious as it just fades out.
Yeah. So in fact, he is actually just jungling. So it's Highlight Die off lane tree. I think he wanted to go top, and he's like, you know what, I just gotta go to jungle now.
This is the downside to drafting TB so early. You don't really get an easy time laning it because EG have adapted their draft against this hero. So drafting your carry early on does have some weaknesses, but they did get Terrorblade, who they are very comfortable playing. And we've seen Envy struggle before in laning stage and then come back.
Definitely. Looks like Bone 7's gonna make the rotation top as Envy goes to the bottom. Normally you don't see Sven off lane just work, but first of all, you got the Howl bonus damage. Second of all, plus armor and runaway speed, Warcry is not too bad. And lastly, you're up against Elder Titan as a support.
I'm gonna say that offlane Sven is the way to run it. I played a lot of Sven a while ago, and I realized that mid, not too impressive. Carry, not the best. Offlane, really amazing. So hard to kill. 5 armor already without using his Warcry. And of course, you provide so much for your team just by having level 6 or 7.
And Universe is going to try to secure the bottom rune here, whereas top, it's going to be a 2-on-2.
Look at these fight over the rune spot. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a big cluster at the rune, and it looks like Bone 7 will take this. He has to kind of take it. No, yeah, I don't think the mid bottom.
Universe has a haste. He's going to try to go for a stomp. He dodges it. He's going to walk forward. Universe gets the first blood.
The RNG for EG.
Yeah. That was really, really important as well. Getting first blood as your offlaner without anyone ganking for you, just securing that solo kill.
I'm telling you, man, it's the jacket.
It's the jacket. It's just the shoes.
He just created the rune out of, Universe things.
I mean, really, when you get a start like that, you can't really be in a better position, I think, because this is a lane where you should basically never have that opportunity. Yeah,
that's the dream right there. And the other lanes, of course, doing really well as well for EG. 16 last hits on their Lycan, 16 last hits on the Zeus.
And Fata, even on one of his best heroes, it's very difficult to get to phase shift consistently when you're against the Zeus if you want to block like mass arc lightnings. And if you waste your phase shift, you run the risk of getting bolted as well, which does even more damage. So the more levels he gets, the harder it's going to be.
Fear has been trying to actually just arc onto the puck. Oh, actually, maybe we might have a dive. No, puck's gonna...
Yeah, he has been doing that a lot, just targeting the puck immediately. And that's when, as we talked about some other day, if you had the autocast from back in Dota 1, puck, then you could have dodged it, but now there's really no way.
So we do see a ton of lane rotation from Cloud9. Now it's Aoi up top here farming in the off lane, but all of these rotations is going to just benefit EG because EG's getting the stable lanes. They have the better lanes. They're getting more farm and experience. It would not surprise me when they go in and experience graph. We'll reflect that in just a bit.
I think Cloud9, they're having a little bit of struggles right now, but like Waga mentioned, Envy's recovery on Terrorblade is always on point. So even if he doesn't have an amazing laning phase, his item timing is seemingly perfect every single game. By 25, 27 minutes, he always has the 2 core items that he needs. And then they just start trying to take engagements based off that. I think actually the biggest thing to worry about is to make sure that Fata is the one who has an okay start, because I think they rely on him very heavily to make that space. And speaking of bottom lane, double stun coming out from Universe. They're going on Pylai Die. He still has armor and Leechsy, but it's not going to be enough, and Universe gets himself a second kill.
That clubbing, just going ham with the right clicks. Chain stun is very, very dangerous, even for a tanky support.
Yeah, another beauty of running that Sven as an off lane, you could make ganks very successfully just with one support. In fact, they're going to rotate around again. Stun's going to come out against Envy. He got the tango up, but look at the clubbing. The damage is going to come out here. That living armor immediately dispelled. He's trying to run into the trees. He will make it there, but good harass coming out here from EG. And TP got cancelled. Yeah,
poor man's shields and all the armor you have on Terrorblade, very difficult to bring down. But as you said, just right-clicking him that much can be enough to mess up his farm a little bit. And power treads 4 minutes and 50 seconds in for an off-lane Sven.
Bone7 wasting a ton of time on that mid lane right now. He's standing there without noticing that there is a ward. Sure, he's zoning out Fear, but I mean, that's it.
Yeah, Fear's not really impressed by it.
I'm actually kind of surprised to see Universe go for the treads. Sure, there are 2, possibly 3 Arcane Boot carriers on the side of EG, but I think having early Arcanes, having Zai down there more often, you could just spam stuns on Envy. What is he going to do against that? He has to ferry mass amounts of regen just to be able to stay in lane.
I think he might eventually go for a bottle, so he can, in theory, still do that.
That's true.
Yeah. Here comes E rotating around here, but the illusion actually will take one of the stuns. But here, Universe actually doesn't have any mana. He does have 2 charges on the Mastic, and in theory could tread swap, but in fact, he turns around and be like, yo, you have no mana.
Yeah, he's perfectly fine. But still, though, all this aggression is just keeping Terrorblade from dealing any tower damage, and it is messing with his farm a little bit.
Oh, he has mana now. In fact, the bottom lane, the sun's going to come out. Envy's going to eat another Fire Blast. Zeus ult's going to come through. That's going to secure a killing spree on Universe. Is it the shoes? How does he do it?
I mean, that was very fortuitous timing, right? Fear was level 6 around the same time that they went back in on there, so really good communication coming out from EG, just knowing their limits. And like I said, the guaranteed stun, Stormhammer does a lot of damage for a stun. It's right up there with Magic Missile, I think, for some of the highest single target stun damages that you're going to be able to find. So
yeah,
you get bursted so hard.
Along with the fact that you normally deal a few right clicks during that time as well, it does deal a ton of damage. And meanwhile, Envy is being bullied this much. 46 CS, 6 minutes and 40 seconds in on the Lycan. He's just having a blast up on top lane.
Yeah, he's going for a straight Midas, and he'll have it in about just 1 or 2 more creep kills. So Arteezy rolling away with the game. Zai's actually going to get found here in the jungle, but is there actually an initiation for him? No, he'll just walk away. I mean, I feel like Ogre in this particular game just showcased how good he is. He's just walking around bullying people.
Yeah, that's why they second picked the hero, rating it even higher than Elder Titan, for example.
Yeah.
PPD knows how high value that hero is, and Zai plays it really well. Same for PPD.
On bottom lane again, Zai just being down here. Having a Soul Ring, honestly, this early on Ogre, because of his base regen, it's so insane. 6.4 health regen. You almost get all your health back by the time your Soul Ring actually comes off cooldown. I actually think you do. Yeah, you definitely do, because you get 180 HP over 30 seconds with that much regen, so.
Yeah. And this is a big problem here, because Sven has 27 CS, and your center has 12. Centaur also rotated down here to try and find some farm, forcing Terrorblade into the jungle. This is This is definitely a laning stage going the way of EG.
Oh, by a
heavily.
mile. Look at the goal lead. It's a 3,000 goal lead without any towers being taken up.
This is standard EG. Like, let's be totally honest. If we were to say that their lead was even less than that, it might be surprising.
It would be, yeah. They're just that solid. And RTZ, I mean, he's as close to complete perfect CS as you could be. 67 at 8 minutes in, farming jungle effectively now as well, letting PPD catch up some levels on top. This is terrifying for C9, even if you have a timing.
I'm actually somewhat surprised at the player on hero pairing. I thought that for sure it was going to be PPD on the Ogre and Zai on Dazzle, because Dazzle is a hero that you want a little bit more experience in gold on. Definitely will benefit from a level 16, for example.
I think it's the playstyle of the heroes, actually. Like, Zai wants to be the one moving around, and he's going to do just that. They are going to get scouted, though, by Pylai Die. Ignite thrown out.
Zai is also very comfortable playing along with Universe. They always tag team really well on the offlane, get so much done, whether it's Zai on an Elder Titan or in this game an Ogre. He always does so well.
Yeah, the bottom lane, in fact, is Universe. That's just completely bullying the lane. He's got 1,300 go. I wonder what item he's going to go for.
He might just go Blink, honestly.
I think Blink's perfect. I mean, you play him like a sort of a pseudo Centaur as an initiator.
The other option is you go Mask of Madness and you play him just like a normal core, because he's already had such a good start that, I mean, getting a Mask of Madness, your damage output is going to be completely insane.
Oh, I think that Blink is by far and away the best choice for Sven here, because he has so much follow-up. If you just get that stun in, Ogre could probably follow you up, and Zeus always going to be there with nukes as well.
Yeah, they just want a hero to force fights, and you know, Sven Blink is just probably the best one to do it.
Yeah, because in terms of damage output, you still already have the Howl from Lycan, and Lycan himself with his right-clicking. Ogre just being ballsy here, walking in and stealing CS.
I mean, the difference is the fact that like Ogre's level 5. I mean, in theory, Tree could walk in and bully him back because the right-click is fairly fearsome, but Fire Blasting Knight, man. What a combination of spells.
Oh, RTZ going to be shape-shifting here. Fata's going to be the one phase-shifting. He's going to walk up the high ground, maybe forcing him to use a coil here.
Oh, no?
No,
okay.
He's okay.
Okay, maybe not.
All right,
the wolves are coming in. Wow.
In the meantime, inside the woods, Bone 7 caught out here by Zai. Does he have time for another stomp? Zai has 5 seconds left on his stun. Envy comes in, pops a Metamorphosis. I think he's okay, maybe.
Leech Sea coming in here. It's going to get it off here. And Envy could chase, but he turned back. He did not believe in Pylai Die. 2 more right clicks should do it. Magic Stick's going to come out.
The two Swedes running at each other.
But meanwhile, here comes Fairies invis up. Oh, that's a dead tree. Yeah, that's a dead tree. And now Envy's actually surrounded from all sides. Looks like they're not going to go for him. But EG extremely effective. And if you look at Zeus, I think Zeus could also go for a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, good respect there to Terrorblade and his high damage. When you have cooldown, you don't want to go into him. Blink Dagger on Zeus, very good. I mean, Blink, Yules, these are 2 items you want to complete. Blink Dagger first is a little bit more common, so probably going to go for it. And Sven does have enough gold now to buy up his Blink, so dangerous time.
My God, Arteezy's farm. 102 CS at 11 minutes in.
Yeah.
Midas Vlads and 600 gold to his name.
Actually farming more than an entire creep wave, just farming jungle and the lane.
I don't know, man. Like, how do you stop this, really, if you're Cloud9? Like, you're supposed to hit that, like, 25, 30-minute timing, and you are not even close to on par with where you should be.
Well, they tried to put some pressure on the offlane, but it did not work at all. I mean, there was this free farm going on for Lycan. The heal from Dazzle was too good with the Lycan Wolves. So RTZ is ending up with complete free farm, and at this stage...
I think Aoi's dead top. If he even shows up to where Sven could blink and stun, he's got to be extremely careful.
Yeah, Lycan ulti just cooled off as well, so they definitely want to dive him, I think.
Well, worst case scenario, they get the tower, right? I mean, they don't even have to kill the hero. They can just go for the push. And they know he's here now. He's actually going to use the stomp.
Nicely done, but tower is going to go down regardless. And that's a T1 with no trades at all.
Dazzle securing the tower. Like a good support should.
Got that DD, man.
Mid lane here, looks like they want to make a go here. Fata didn't actually face it. Here comes the Stampede. Coils on 2. They got to kill Zai quick, and they will. The orb out in response. PPD TP's in with a double damage. Cloud9 gets on board with 1 kill.
Yeah, and Universe also struggling to find his first rotation here with the Blink Dagger. Has not really found anyone yet.
Yeah, and he's being very diligent about not showing it either. He's just kind of sitting in fog, waiting around, and it can be a little bit costly to do this.
I think it's obvious at this point, though. He's gonna try mid. Nice reaction time. Fada gonna get away with this one. Very quick.
Fast.
Yeah.
Bottom lane, a little bit nice body block from the Wolf here. Pilot that goes in this Sentry's gonna get dropped, the Fire Blast, and just one more chomp. You know, a mark of a really good team is that they win the game really hard and they make it look easy. It's like, yeah, why don't more teams do this? Yeah, get a kill, go rotate into Roshan pit.
I mean, honestly, I love the Sven pick here. Sure, it looks good after you see Universe getting like 3 kills in a row, and the haste rune certainly had a lot to do with that. I would even go as far as to say Universe would have lost that lane really hard if he didn't get a haste rune. But you know what? Going to the rune in the first place and trying to control it is why stuff like that happens. And EG able to get a totally uncontested Roshan here. Aegis up on the Lycan, and things looking really good for them right now.
What does Cloud9 need to, I don't want to say even stage a comeback, like just have a chance? Ooh,
they need a blink on Bone 7 for sure.
Nice silence coming out on Fata, but he's out of, the sun's going to come through. There's
they need to get to the Blink Dagger on Puck and then try to make things happen with Centaur, Puck, and ET. And just try to keep Terrorblade away from this. Give him some time to farm up, because right now, he's almost half the net worth of Lycan. He is falling extremely far behind.
I don't know if you can actually keep up with RTZ's farm rate at this point. I mean, we talked about the gold and experience advantage they had even prior to killing any tier 1s. Well, I'm pretty sure the tier 1s of Cloud9 are going to be dying really soon. And then you have a tree who's not even level 6, and your usefulness kind of starts to wane at that point. And Fata,
well, he used a lot of his defensive capability. If that ooh, nice phase. He's going to try to walk out, but the Fire Blast will follow. Fata didn't want to use his Blink like that, Stampede, and Coil to be used. He is going to live to the right side, but Thunder God's Wrath is not available. And he'll survive, but at what cost?
Yeah, he threw it out.
That tower's dead.
Yeah. Well, he did force out a few reactions there, even the Zeus ulti, but tower is, as you said, probably going to go down here. They scout him out with a Dazzle ulti, or actually they missed him. So maybe they didn't see him there. But meanwhile, some farm is being had at least by Terrorblade. And Puck starting to make things happen with his Blink Dagger, but he needs to fight alongside the Centaur and ET to find any pickoff.
How is Cloud9's ability to hold the high ground? Because I feel like this game is going to be decided up to that point.
It's pretty good. I think like Fata and Bone 7 are both going to have blinks by the time they even start like pushing into tier 2s, which is a really big thing. And also, you're going to have Elder Titan on top of that, which is hard to push into. You have Orb to clear the wave a bit, and now Pilot is finally 6.
So. I mean, you have to think that at the point where EG start to go high ground, they're probably going to look at Aegis and Necrobook. So they already have the Necro 1. And if Lycan carries maybe Aegis from next to Roshan and pushes high ground, you can't really stop it by Blink Dagger commitments. You need to clear the wave somehow, kill the Necrobooks, and keep them away.
It's definitely true. It looks like they'll find Fairy. Initiation's going to come through. Nice silence coming out from Fata. It looks like they don't have Coil for the secondary kill, but Zai being chased down. The Coil is used. Grave is available on PPD. He will use it, but the Overgrowth will cancel the TP. It looks like it's a 1-by-1, but Universe comes in. Oh my god, it's a train by Envy, though. He's coming and doing massive damage. Universe runs away thanks to the plus 16 armor. Meanwhile, on the backline, RTZ right-clicking away. He does have the Aegis Immortal, so he's not too afraid. At the end, it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. It's not done yet. PPD runs through. My god, the lawnmower of Envy just chopped him down.
Yeah, that's a really nice timing for C9 starting to fight with that Metamorphosis. We see the crowd, of course, cheering. This is definitely a game. They are behind, but they're also struggling to get some towers here against EG. C9 themselves also have the Treant, so if they just don't lose the tower immediately, they could heal them up.
Oh, RTZ perhaps going to get solo kill. Nicely done by Cloud9. A kill that you don't expect to have, and this T1 tower might actually get killed. RTZ barely runs away from the stomp. Showing some sign of life is Cloud9.
A really nice couple of picks there, coming into a tier 1 middle lane. Probably one of the most important towers to take if you're in Cloud9's position right now. And I mean, a lot of it has to do with the fact that, again, there's a lot more blinks coming out on the side of Cloud9. This is one of, I would say, many peaks that they're going to have this game, is when you have all your initiators with their items.
I mean, how impressed has Fata played? Like, he's been gone on so many times. He hasn't died yet.
Yeah, Fata has played so solid the entire LAN, so I'm not surprised at all that he has been hard to kill in this game. But Sven also, you could see already how much that armor did against Terrorblade, because Terrorblade was clicking him almost every time that we see that. TB dice or TB kills someone immediately.
Yeah.
Sven just walked away, did not care.
Ooh,
Yeah,
looks like we're
very
going to see the
true.
initiation. The Wolves, low block, a little bit of scouting. That's something that PPT talked about. He loves it when his Lycan player actively scouts, and that free information is really uncounterable.
Yeah, and you can even go as far as like put it on heroes, just put a move command, and you just follow him up. And speaking of, they're going to go on Arteezy here. They've caught him out. He does not, or he does have shapeshift, but he's going to be caught inside of a coil. Can anyone on the team help him here? He is going to drop. They're going to trade 1-for-1. They end up losing Centaur in the process.
That's a massive pick though, killing off the Lycan. Slows down the timing of EG. Really good gank, even though they committed 3 heroes to going out there. Still worth.
Yeah, meanwhile, Envy's farming at the Ancients, so Cloud9 is not exactly having the best start, but one of the more disciplined recovery I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I think this is, when he gets up to his Manta, I think things start to turn around a little bit because you can disjoint some of the stuns. They're pretty easy, actually. And then you can just start working your way towards that Scotty. And when that happens, you have Elder Titan on your team, your damage output starts to skyrocket. Even against the Sven, like, yeah, you got the plus armor from the Warcry and such, but still a long way from being over for Cloud9.
Yeah, some massive items coming out here from the side of EG, though. Force Staff is going to be available very soon. That's going to allow you to push away your teammates who gets initiated on. And I feel like Cloud9, the way that they're getting these picks, they're essentially throwing everything on a single hero and then moving on to the next. And things like Force Staff, the Grave is going to be very good against what Cloud9 has in the mid game.
Yeah, and it's very hard to Grave too early on into a game because you need high level on the Grave, giving that cast range.
That's why I thought it was surprising that Zai is not playing this hero, because Zai generally has very high level input.
Dazzle players take note, he has ulti.
Yep.
He has a skill ulti.
I also think that, like, PPD he's level 10.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's under-leveled by any stretch. I mean, having level 2 weave at around the 20+ minute mark is still very good.
Actually, Zai is playing the PPD role this game. He's only level 8.
Well, I mean, he still is getting a little bit of farm, right? Like, he's got a point booster, 1,000 gold, boots.
Well, PPD is still playing the PPD role as well because he has even less gold. So
that's true. I guess the level distribution is a little different from what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, and Elder Titan is farming much more than the supports of EG.
Yeah.
So C9 have a little bit stronger core of 4 heroes, but then you could argue Lycan is just a beast right now. So much gold.
Elder Titan feels like a keeper of the light in terms of his farm in this particular game because he just has to throw his spirit out and stomp to defend towers, right? And you are going to just pick up creep kills.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, he is a very spam-centric hero. Astral Spirit is only 16 seconds, and then Stomp is 15. So they synergize very well. You can basically use them together every single time.
They want to go and gank here with the rune on Eternal Envy, as always on his Terrorblade. I believe he had an Illusion rune in this gank. Trying to find someone, Zai. Can he feel it?
They feel it. They're definitely walking back, but Arteezy's, they know the smoke is broken. They know exactly where it is. Arteezy, the silence is going to come through Arteezy.
Wow,
another clean pick. They see Zai. Zai will face, but now Zai in a ton of trouble. Yulsep just going to get used to the sun, not hitting too much. The Earth Splitter, though, will bring him back. Another kill. Cloud9 effectively making a comeback here. Score 7-7. The goal graph really arching back up.
Yeah, and gold on TB is worth more than gold on Lycan for sure. Like if you get to the same point of net worth, TB is gonna outcarry for sure.
All right,
nice aggressive play here. The rotations from C9 working out well.
Another tower going the way of Cloud9, and that will actually be able to finish up the Manta for Envy if he decides to buy it.
Yeah, and he has some gold to go as well. So closing up on that Scotty, working on it slowly. It's not gonna be as fast as it has been previously, because he had like a very delayed Manta style.
Yeah,
but it's still fine.
Normally his Manta timing is like 15, 16 minutes, so 7 minutes behind is pretty significant, but I think continually getting those kills, starting to get some tier 1s, maybe open up the opportunity for Roshan as it's going to be scouted out here by Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, last game against VP at this point with Courier might be a little bit trouble. We were talking about him finishing Scotty, right? Like, it's just a big difference of how far behind he has been this game. But EG, what's their next move? It seems like they're perhaps getting somewhat outplayed for the past couple of minutes. The games are just not connecting.
Yeah, they have been, because they haven't gone for like a group up with the Necrobook or anything. And C9's rotations, their ganks have been really well executed. And Puck is showing how important he has been for them. They are farming up a big stack here now, though. RTZ getting even fatter.
I love the synergy, actually, because the Shadow Wave actually hits Ancients. So
it does.
You can use the Wolves to deal a little bit more damage, kill the stack faster. It's kind of like Venge-esque, right?
Yeah, sort of.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And on top of that, you have Universe, who still has yet to die. He has 5 of the 7 of EG's kills right now. And he's working his way towards the BKB.
Surprisingly low kill score in this game. Both teams respecting each other quite a lot and trying not to give away too much.
I think the Universe score looks really impressive, but we got to keep in mind, oh, here comes the initiation. Bone7 want to jump in here, but Sven gets one quick pick on Pilot Eye. PPD's going to be fine. Fata needs to get the hell out of there. Bone7 goes down as well. Grave is going to secure PPD's life, and that's going to give the Roshan to Evil Geniuses.
Oh, EG winning this fight quite handedly.
That was a great counter initiate. Oh, Fata wants to make a play, man. He drops his teleport scroll. He thinks about Ore Spin. Oh, a little bit short on that blink. And he'll get himself out. Gotta phase. Okay, nice heals.
Yeah, I mean, that was so hard to kill.
That was a very key Zeus ultimate. Basically cancel every blink dagger, so Fata could not get off a good coil. Bone7 could not get off a stun. And that's what allowed the quick picks from Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, Zeus is such a dangerous hero. Whether it's a support or a core, his ulti is always amazing.
I think as soon as you hear that stampede sound from the Centaur, you just ult, right?
Yeah, just click it.
It's like, even if you don't really cancel much Blink Dagger, the fact that you know where the enemies are really helps you stage your fight, whether it's a retreat, whether it's, you know, engage.
Yeah, and you might not cancel everyone's Blink, but if you cancel just one guy, that might be even better, you know? Because then the entire enemy team might not be going together.
That's true.
And you can pick someone off. Universe working on a BKB here on Sven. He's still not that dangerous, but when he gets max level on his cleave, it's going to be, oh, there we go.
Oh, man.
What a play.
That hurts. That actually hurts quite a bit.
Treant just revealing a smoke gang by some nice positioning, really. He was standing under a sentry, but there was no vision up there as well.
Yeah.
So, just nice.
PPD has 3, or sorry, Pilot Die has 3 teleport scrolls. He's like, yep, I'm going to stay in the enemy jungle. I'm ready to get out. This is some like Marine stuff, or maybe Navy SEAL stuff.
Okay, wait, Fear didn't see him there? It was definitely daytime. He came out for a second, but looks like he didn't actually spot him.
Old man vision.
Jeez.
Damn.
The
need that reading glasses, man.
I don't think he was in vision completely there.
They look quite close. We'll see.
Definitely. But either way, EG, despite getting that Roshan, they still feel like they're a little bit on the back foot against E9.
Yeah, I mean, I think that actually waiting it out right now is a little bit dangerous for EG, right? Because in another 10 minutes or so, Envy is going to have the item progression that he wants.
Oh yeah, that's and like the C9 peak.
Yeah. All right, Bone7 just killing the Necro Book.
Hey man, that's gold. In fact, they're using him up. I don't think they can actually get a kill, but you know, whatever.
Turn around and Midas. Greed. Don't care.
Efficiency, not greed.
Yeah.
So this Treant play, by the way, from Pilot Die really reminded me of his Bounty Hunter from TI, right? Just like constantly enemy jungle. Not as effective because you can't snipe couriers, you can't, you know, blink track and give vision, but kind of doing the same thing. And he's basically using passive gold in game to get to this blink. Once he does get to the blink, I feel like the overgrowth is going to be a huge factor in these fights.
Farming with that passive gold.
Yeah. If you don't die, man, that's farm.
That's true. He does find out PPD here. Goes for the ulti.
Okay, but in fact, they're going to try to come in, but Sven, that's only going to hit on Envy. The Grave is keeping him alive immediately, though. Well, it looks like he's going to get right-click down. No, actually, nobody goes for him. The Earth Splitter, however, will get him. Ran in a straight line.
Yeah, I don't think he had much of a choice, actually. He kind of had to run straight.
Envy got to be careful.
Yeah,
the ulti does a lot here.
Yeah.
What's his armor right now on Terrorblade? It's going down.
Minus 22. It's going to wear off in a second.
Manta.
Universe with the stun.
Woo!
Nice.
Well, in fact, they're going to turn on RTZ. The wolf form is out. The right clicks are coming through here. Very tanky, though. Got the Vlads. Got,
he will die here.
Okay.
That was strange.
Will he die a second time?
He could.
No, here comes the puck on the backline, forcing Zai away here, RTZ.
It's an very ogre. Careful about this ogre.
Oh, Envy has to run. No only 3x. I was like, no multi, just kidding. 3x multi. They get the return kill. Maybe a little bit greedy chasing RTZ.
I mean,
that had to have been a bait, right? Like, there's no way he actually thinks he can TP there.
Yeah. I guess that was a bait.
That's a pretty next level bait. Just TPs and like, you know.
I mean, he knew Zai was coming in with the multis, man. Gotta have faith.
That's true.
He didn't even need to use his Aghanim stun there as well. He just threw out one casual 3x multi, no problem. Nice and D-warding here with the Necrobooks. And this is something he always does when he plays Lycan. Just use ulti form on Lycan to make your Necrobooks faster, to D-ward it more effectively.
I mean, when you're level 16, your shapeshift has almost, what? Well, like 30% uptime. Yeah.
Very little downtime. So
I think it actually used to be more uptime, but they nerfed it a bit, so. Yeah, they nerfed the cooldown, actually. So.
True.
We are getting very close for a Hex on Puck, which it feels like Cloud9 doesn't really lack disable. It feels like they just lack damage, right? I mean, Hex is always good. I'm not arguing against that, but just in general.
I think having a Hex is pretty instrumental, actually, for them, because if you have, like,
it's
a
Lincoln's,
Dazzle, for example.
It's
Oh, he's going Lincoln's. Okay. Oh. I was going to say, it's really nice for just having it so you don't have to necessarily initiate on PPD. You can just Hex him, and then you can get your combo on other heroes and then just get the kill.
Well, this is the spam Lincolns on your Terrorblade game, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Something that EG did as well when they played the double Lincolns game, just spamming it non-stop. Was really good against an anti-mage, I remember, in Phase 2.
Yeah.
So similar in this game, protect him.
That anti-mage could not even use Mana Void at all.
Yeah, it was a Storm and a Puck both buying Lincolns.
Yeah.
Entire game, no Mana Void.
Even though the game scores 8-10, I feel like this has been a very action-packed game. Like both teams really effectively evading and helping out allies.
They're just not losing that many per engagement, but there have been quite a few skirmishes, yes. So very active play from both teams. BKB, one of the bigger pickups here from Universe. He does show it immediately mid, but I don't think that matters, letting the enemy know.
The important... Ooh, actually, there's a wolf falling on Puck early on the top. Gotta be careful, because sometimes the wolf will attack you, and then your dagger gets cancelled, and the initiation can come.
Oh, they're trying to get him.
He's got Lincoln, so he should be fine.
I mean, it's optimistic at best, trying to kill a Puck, especially with Aoi standing around here with this patented Yasha builds. Always the same items on his Elder
Titan. They definitely could get AEI 2000. In fact, the multicast will come through immediately dead.
It's all Ogre.
Yeah.
That damage, though. For real. I mean, honestly, they had a couple of nice picks coming out from Cloud9. They were starting to get some really good farm on Envy. And then they just give away a few kills. And Fata now going to find Zai inside of the woods. There is a weave, though, so I don't know if he's going to be able to get this kill. And he does still have his Lincolns up. He's going to eat one of these stuns. Here comes the Stampede. The second stun goes on a Bone 7. He's dropping so fast. 4 staff away. Will end up dying. Not even able to get one stun off PPD. He does not have Grave. He will end up dropping to Envy, who is currently hasted right now. He's running towards Arteezy, who is trying to kill Fata. Still a weave on him. He's going to try to go for the TP out. Gets Yules. Fear is here as well. Actually wastes the bolt. Doesn't arc first. Doesn't get the damage off.
Yeah. Oh, multicast. It's going to come through. That's 2x. That's 2 more. Zai rolling the dice, man.
Yeah, Zai is doing so much work here.
Yeah.
He really has a massive impact from his Ogre. And you can always see this. When you finish Aghanims, you become twice the hero. You just do so much more. Solo killing Elder Titan.
Yeah. I feel like this game is going to turn into like, you have these melee cores that are just trying to chase down hero on the side of EG. And you can't kill them because they have Puck. You know, they have Tree. These are kind of hard to kill hero. And then on the side of Cloud9, you know, you have normally Terrorblade just kills everything, but you have all this armor, you have all the Grave. So both teams really persisting in these team fights, nobody really dying, and that could explain the 9-13 score, despite the 32-minute of gameplay.
The pace of this game looks like it could definitely go into the ultra late game, by the way, where I still think that might be EG's choice here. Yeah. Remember when they played versus VP Polar, and they just saw the Divine? They just said, hey, we're going to take it to ultra late game, it's fine. It feels like they have a similar approach in this game because they're not pressuring at all against C9.
The big difference in that game was that EG had the whole map. They farmed everything.
Yeah.
But Cloud9 is definitely maintaining their own map control. I mean, in fact, look at the tier 1 mid. Yeah, they're keeping their towers alive. They're threatening the Roshan constantly because of that mid tier 1. So I feel like if it's a farming game, I think the Cloud9 support heroes in particular could get a little bit more gold and could definitely make a game out of this.
Yeah, also, nice deny on the double damage rune there. Envy wanted it, but the Wolf said no. Very nice play by Arteezy. Roshan just spawned up here as well.
And this is already the third Roshan. It's 32 minutes in, and we've already seen 2 kills, so This will be the time where EG definitely want to start thinking about getting into position, and they are already on it. Like, they are just moving down here straight away.
Arteezy's
nice Yules there by Fata, by the way.
Arteezy's actually using his wolf form just like as a haste rune and run around. The uptime is pretty high.
Yeah, it's about 30% of the time. All right, tower kill here by Fata, and he gives a silence on 2, jukes away. He's going to get stunned here once. Second one is going to be blocked by the Lincolns. That timing, though.
In fact, he's actually chasing in pretty hard. Gotta be careful of the minus armor that's persisting on him.
Yeah, but it's so hard to do anything.
He's just
I mean,
playing with the heroes.
It's a living armor, Yule Scepter, and of course, Lincoln's puck. It's very hard to kill.
I love the fact that there is a illusion of Terrorblade and a wolf in the Roshan pit. Just like both teams are constantly very aware of scouting. I mean, the next fight can be extremely important.
It could be. Both know what's up. It's a cheese as well. And top lane's being pressured by C9 here. Maybe EG was just want to try and sneak a Roche during that timing. Lycan is going in.
I mean, I think Cloud9 is very aware of this. It just depends on whether they want to actually challenge or go for the top racks. And it looks like their heroes are just very spread. Too spread for this.
Yeah, and it dies so fast. Even the Dazzle heal does a lot of damage because you have 5 units in the front line there with the Wolves and Necrobook.
You know, Dazzle getting cheese is pretty key because I imagine Cloud9 want to remove him almost instantly. And normally you say, all right, Terrorblade just kills him in 1 second. But again, the armor will keep them alive for a very long time.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Lycan only loses 9 armor to natural order, right? And then if you have Warcry with the items that Lycan has right now, he actually has 36 armor.
Yeah.
So that's a ton against Terrorblade, who is nothing but physical damage.
Terrorblade is impressive right now when he's just farming and getting a lot of value. He is catching up slowly to Lycan here, but as you said, how much damage will he deal in the first big 5-on-5 fight? Because I feel Dazzle and Sven could nullify a lot of it.
I think Cloud9 might need a little bit of luck here. If they get a Rune of Destiny, that can change everything. On the mid lane, they're going to make it go on Arteezy. Bringing away the Aegis can be good, but look at how tanky. In fact, he's just fighting under the coil. Come at me, bro. The Zeus ult's going to come out, and the disengage is going to happen here. Earth Splitter is going to bring Arteezy low, but that's AC Vlad's.
Okay. Does not care at all, in fact. Just keeps going.
It always impresses me how these players are playing the game. They get initiated on, well, actually, here comes round 2, but Grave is right there.
I mean, he has his team behind him.
Fata! It's going to get multied, and he's also dead.
Very deep dive there by Fata. Nice bait by Arteezy, I suppose, but they should know that everyone is right behind him there. Jontin is pretty optimistic.
Yeah. He hasn't got punished so far, but the punish is pretty painful.
Yeah, and you die once on Puck here. This is going to open up at least 2 towers.
And damage on the 3rd. Like, they push so fast.
Oh, yeah. They could.
Dear God,
Look at that tower.
damage.
That armor, though, on Lycan, like, it's just completely ridiculous when they use the Warcry.
I mean, that was without Weave. So now he's going to get Weave. He's going to have another Warcry going up high ground. He has 50 armor right now.
Oh, got a glyph, and here we go. They're actually nice initiation and Bone 7.
Illusion's doing nothing.
Yeah, force out buyback on Puck. The Overgrowth hits nothing because somebody got Yules instead. A little bit of miscommunication here. There is a Black King bar on Envy. He needs the magical immunity and quick retreat coming out from Evil Geniuses.
I mean,
they want to chase.
Oh,
I'm not sure about this.
Trying to find anything. They have the Puck ulti, but that's an Aegis still. Are you going to go on Arteezy here?
They feel like they need to get a lot out of this because Puck bought back. They are going to get the Aegis, but look at the initiation from Universe. He is taking a ton of damage. He needs the Warcry. He won't get it off. Envy, though, can he actually sunder? He gets it off. He gets it off against Arteezy. Arteezy will run away, but they do lose Universe. On the right side, Pylai die. No multi just yet. Fata takes 1 here. He does have phase, but the Abyssal Blade comes out from Arteezy. I think he just bought it on the side shop. Meanwhile, Envy still chasing on Hero. Fear is running away. Keep in mind the big bad wolf is still nearby. Everybody's so low. I think it's time for disengage for Cloud9.
Yeah, there's an Ogre Magi coming and he's angry.
The multicast 4x. Maybe another 4x. Envy's being massively pinged by Cloud9. The blink in, the multi. My goodness, the burst damage is just so unparalleled from Evil Geniuses.
Zai is actually the carry here of EG. Zai is doing all the damage with his Ogre Magi.
I think he solo killed 2 heroes while Arteezy was running away. And then he manages to help kill Envy as well with Fear. So,
yeah,
I don't know. What do you do? Like, Zai has a massive impact on every single hero that he plays.
And he has travels now as well. That's just going to be even worse to go up against. dear God. He's going top. Dude, he's angry.
Oh my God, he's actually diving under this. No multicast on the first one. Might actually have paid for it. The overgrowth's going to come through here. Look at the multi, though. I don't know about this Twilight Die going Vis. You don't gank Ogre.
Oh, he's going.
Ogre ganks you.
Okay, Zai just bossing down Twilight Die, saying, hey man, I'm Ogre. Never back down.
Cloud9 gotta be extremely poised in the next couple of minutes. You lose one fight, you don't have Glyph, you just lose like 1 or 2 lanes of racks.
Yeah, and luckily, Twilight Die respawns really fast. I guess that's one of the upsides here for C9 as they need to defend.
I know, I think this is maybe where EG want to try to go for a Rax. There is no Glyph on the side of Cloud9. It is still kind of dangerous, though.
I still think EG are going to play it even more passive because they are aiming for the ultra late game. You can tell by the way they're playing this game, they are not in any rush to take racks of C9.
Yeah, I think they wanted to make a poke because the Metamorphosis was down for at least like 10, 20 more seconds. So as soon as they know you're not getting a free kill, you're not getting a free tower, they'll back off. Very, very disciplined play.
Yeah. Also, Fear is doing a good job every fight of just trying to spam Arc Lightning on the Puck to break his Linkens.
Yeah.
He did that in the mid-team fight, and then the Sven came in. Puck got brought down solo immediately by that, so Fear doing a lot of work from his Zeus.
We talked about how Fear and Zai is doing so much work. I think it's because you need to focus on Arteezy and Universe. These are kind of high priority, high damage targets. That is allowing PPD, that's allowing Zai to really stay back and keep chucking out their spells.
Yeah. Even though EG just took the bottom tower, wouldn't be surprised to see him just kick back completely and say, hey, you can come out on the map again. We have an Ogre.
Oh,
does he find the courier?
Oh, he needs an overgrowth. Okay, he paid for it though.
He just got obliterated.
Yeah, Zai just killed the courier as well. It had nothing important on it, but still, sending a message, man. Even your chicken.
MV doing a little bit of split push up top. Actually, if you EG, you just like push hard and force him back. Manta is down. In fact, he has to TP.
Never a big fan of trading against Terrorblade, but you do have Lycan, so I guess you can.
Oh, here comes the initiation. Bone 7 will force staff back. The blink initiation, though. Bata will have coil available. Universe gonna get taken up in there. That's re-engaged. Universe pops a BKB. The coil's not doing much. Meanwhile, on the right side here, Envy, he wants to fight. He pops a BKB. He's focusing on Arteezy. They will get Arteezy. The thing is, they got the rack, so I think Cloud9 needs to get way more. Force that forward from Bone 7. He has blink in a couple seconds, but he's got to be careful. If you blink into an Ogre, you can just die.
The poor man Centaur ulti, the war cry, running away.
Yeah, I think Fear even popped his ulti to make sure that Bone 7 couldn't blink there, so he couldn't go for Universe.
I think Cloud9 needs to push across the other side and at least force out a buyback from Arteezy.
Yeah, I believe so, but Zai is also on top of things.
Can they, though? Can they actually force his buyout? Because I don't think they push fast enough.
No.
No, it looks like they're not even trying.
I mean, you don't buy out for a tier 2 defense unless you know you can win a fight and get some kills, and obviously that's not going to be the case.
And we're coming to that point where Sven as well turns into a beast. He almost has the Daedalus, and of course there is the Ogre Magi buffing up with Bloodlust. So this is very, very scary late game coming from EG. I like their approach to playing against TB and the way they drafted. I'm often a big fan of EG's drafts, but this one in particular is really nice.
Yeah, I love the Sven idea. Like, the offlane Sven for me is what made this draft so at least interesting to watch, because normally you put Universe on heroes like Jakiro, sometimes Void, not necessarily super active early game heroes, but this time he's been very, very active. I mean, he's still got 6-1-1, but during the early game, he was all the kills.
Yeah. A lot of those came from the lanes, though. And
yeah, that's very true.
He did have a period where he was rotating and wasn't able to actually find too much. And I think that's where EG had a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
But they did recover very well.
Puck, of course, bought the Dagon in this game, which can seem strange, but I think it's a fine item.
I think it's a great item. They need damage.
Because there's so much armor, you can't really right-click through it. You need some magical extra damage. And it's also great against Grave from PPD. If you get a high-level Dagon, you can maybe surprise and kill people before they get the Grave off.
Yeah. At least that's going to force out the Grave to come out much earlier.
Exactly, or at least force out the early cast.
Cloud9, sensing the fact that they are very behind right now. They need a good fight. They need to find a couple of pickoff.
Well, this is a very important fight about to break loose here.
They don't have division, though. That's kind of the key. They will see, I think, EG Heroes moving. No, they don't. They don't see anything. Good disengage here coming out from Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, they feel it. They can feel the smoke is coming, but...
Yeah, they're just backing all to the towers.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're not yourself smoked, you just think, okay, well, the other team could be, because we see how heavily pushed in bottom lane is.
Oh, they want to engage.
Man.
This is really a big dive. I'm not sure about this, but Zai, look at his health. The Grave will come out right now, but here comes the cleave. It's doing so much damage. Envy losing a ton of health, but he's still right-clicking away. Envy, he gets Abyssal, but he is going to get off a... No, he does not! Very on the last tick. And look at Sven, he's cleaving for like 1,400.
Oh my god. That was so close.
Universe actually just killed every single one of Envy's illusions in like one swing.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the team fight was kind of over from there, because one Terrorblade attacking you is one thing, but usually it's the army that you have to worry about. And Universe also one-shot Aoi, like just punched him.
Until you have evasion, you need that butterfly on Terrorblade, else Sven is gonna wreck you. Same with Lycan's right clicks. Of course, not as fearsome for the illusions, but Sven definitely a strong hero against TB.
How did the Centaur die so fast? He has a Shiva's Guard in the middle of everything. He just kind of disappeared.
Sven and Lycan, when you have God Strength on and AC on your team, Vlad's for bonus damage, Weave on top of that, like...
Look at these Raxes!
The physical damage from EG is insane.
These buildings look like they're made out of paper.
I mean, it is 45 minutes in, right? So we kind of expect teams to push a little bit faster.
This is Cloud9's last stand. They have to get a lot of work done.
Yeah, but they don't even have puck available.
Here we
doesn't
go.
have buyback.
That's the Sun. Universe taking a ton of damage. He will pop the BKB, but he will die. Overgrowth will keep RTZ locked down. He abyssals, but he's going to die here pretty much. Well, Fair on the backline doing so much damage, though. In fact, Zai's going to come in with the multicast. Can he get off the Sunder? He can't. He's stress swapping. Can he? Sunder? All right, he got off a Sunder. And meanwhile, it's the chase going the other way. Here comes Puck. He sees Zai. Zai's going to give him a couple of multi before he dies. On the back line here, they will get Fair as well. It is close to a 4-man wipe. I say that, though. Fair is going to go up. Force that high ground.
They should be able to get him here.
Yep.
Chasing him down. So a lot of kills going the way of C9, but their base is so damn destroyed after this. They do have top, but no tower as well. Losing two sides.
For the remainder of the game, Cloud9 has to win.
14,000 experience?
Oh, God.
Okay.
Decent team fight.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. For the entire remainder of the game, Cloud9 has to win every single fight. You lose one more fight, you're done.
Yes. Double
this could
buyback.
be a good timing, though. Like, if they could manage to make something happen here after seeing so many buybacks, here we go. BKB pop at University wants to go on Envy right away. The Abyssal Blade comes out. He gets forced staffed away. He's going to be able to sunder RTZ. He's forced back. Universe taking this fight.
Universe is dead, and the chase goes the other way. Bone 7's going to land a stun on Fair. Fair gets forced staffed away. On the back line, though, the creeps are entering the base of Cloud9. BKB activated, but BKB is down. Fair is down.
C9 not doing it?
Well, they're not doing anything. They're going to go back and defend. This is just the beginning of many, many team fights that Cloud9 has to win heavily.
Yeah, but they gotta get Roshan from this unless something happens here. EG not really in a position to stop it.
They use multiple buybacks for this too. That's kind of the key thing.
Yeah, there's no buyback available now for Sven or Zeus. I don't think Zeus bought back. There was
here comes the carry Zai. Multi. Okay.
I mean,
Fake hype.
He does have a hood as well, so you need to get the highest multis possible, pretty much.
Oh, it's going to come the other way. RTZ is going to get overgrowth, but here comes their ult. Meanwhile, on the backline, Envy is going to get the Aegis, the cheese, and the bottles on the ground. Somebody's got to collect the cheese. Zai walks in. Thanks for the cheese, bro. Meanwhile, the multicast is going to come out. Coil's going to hit on two. They want PBD. No, they want RTZ instead. The right click. The Abyssal Blade is going to come out. Envy's really stunned up. One multi is going to come out. You got to kill Zai. He's just doing so much work. 4-step on the high ground.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I mean, Zai has to be one of the best players in the world. There's no doubt about it. He's just so impressive. At the point where you have this many farmed heroes and you're still impressed by how much the Ogre is carrying the team fights, it's just amazing what he can do.
But Cloud9 has a rare window of opportunity where they actually have a creep wave streaming down the mid. And they could actually take maybe breach high ground. Keep in mind the buybacks are already down for EG. So if you get a very good team fight, there is a universe where Cloud9 could actually get some buildings.
Yeah, and they have been taking good fights now with the Butterfly as well on TB. You're even stronger. Dagon getting upgraded for Fada. I think C9 are in a better spot than they have been in the entire game.
Yeah, the initiation's going to come through. Bone 7 will whiff this one. Bone 7, he's been initiating very well this game.
He got the stun on him, but Psy just forced before.
I mean, that top push, when EG eventually get the racks, they get double stun. All right, stun on the Bone 7. Blinking from Fata. Gets a silence on Universe, and Zai just decides to back it up. I mean, keep in mind, they don't have Aoi here, so...
Aoi does have Breach of Travel, though.
Yeah, with Aegis still, it's maybe possible for them to go, but looks like they're just going to decide to back up.
A good attempt from Cloud9, but again, they need to keep winning fights. That's the only way.
This is a very, very impressive first game in the best of 5 grand finals. C9 and EG really showing that this is finals material.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that these teams maybe were just like on another level for the rest of the tournament, even though Cloud9 showed a little bit shakiness against VP.
Yeah.
I think when you're playing against really good opponents that you respect, you have a tendency to actually play better than normal.
The shakiness is gone. They're playing much better now than they played against VP. C9 are in great shape. And also, they just came from, in a way, a 3-game winning streak against VP.
Sure.
Yeah. So, you know, momentum.
Ogre is streaming out. They see him. The blink silence is going to be there. Ogre, Force-Stab. He's in the trees, but they see him. The clap's going to be there. He popsicles, but he's really in a terrible position. Actually, there's no sight. They see him now, and Zai's going to get brought down. That's a big part of their damage. And keep in mind that he did not buyback, but he doesn't have buyback anyways. This is a prime opportunity for Cloud9. Aegis is running out fairly soon, I want to say.
Yeah, they can keep pushing here. This is an amazing spot. They did use meta quite a while ago now, but they have half the duration pretty much.
Yeah.
More than enough time for one poke here, and that could be enough to take racks even. Let's see what EG are going to do about it.
Ogre's a big part of the damage, not just for the multicast. They need the Bloodlust. They need the damage output. Here comes the Glyph, and that building without the Glyph will also melt like paper. The right clicks are coming through for Envy. Look at how quickly it drops. It's focusing on the melee racks. How much deeper do you want to go if you're Cloud9? Do you go for another lane of racks?
I think you take one and back out.
No, they're thinking about moving top. That weave is working its magic, though. Look at the minus armor.
Yeah. They're going to back off in the end. I mean, you want to take 2 racks immediately there, just even out the game, but at the same time, you just got racks, you won a lot of good team fights, back up, get some items, you know, spend your money and be happy. EG trying to go for something here.
I think they just smoked under a ward, though. They had a ward in the base, so...
Well, here's the thing. If you just smoke into the enemy in front of the tier forwards and start fighting Cloud9 there...
I mean, it's very obvious. This is something that C9 have to know about.
I mean, they're running into them. I'm not sure if this is obvious to Cloud9. Envy, he's by himself. He might get abyssal. Oh, he needs to BKB. In fact, he does. Can they turn with this? Metamorphosis is down for 39 seconds. With that said, though, he does have
BKB,
Aegis Morimoto. He does have Aegis, though. He's going to waste a lot of stuff on him. He is going to come back alive. The Earth Splitter is going to come out here. Envy, there's nothing to protect him. He's going to get brought down. Manta's going to get used. The crits are real. Envy, he's losing too much health. And the blink stun, he dies. He has buyback, and he has to use it right now. No, he doesn't have it for 10 seconds. The Glyph is going to have to be used. Bone 7, he gets multi, and he gets stunned. Bone 7 is barely hanging on. He's dead.
I mean, that's 3 heroes dead with no buyback. Of course, they buyback now on TB, but
that's
not going to do anything.
He's going to get multied. Sunder? No, he can't even Sunder.
That's GG.
It might have been a very obvious smoke, but EG just streamed down mid, and that's all they needed to do. Great pickoff. What a game 1.
Maybe a bit more hairy than EG would have liked it. I think at some point in the game, it was looking pretty grim for Cloud9. They had a really nice comeback during the mid to late game where they went up mid, they got Roshan, they managed to take a very impressive counter racks, but in the end, that smoke at the end was just the nail in the coffin, more or less.
Yeah, I think when Cloud9's winning these fights, they're always initiating. And when you have Centaur Puck, you gotta be the aggressor.
Yeah, but one thing that we didn't mention even in EG's draft that was so strong in the late game, the amount of disables. Like, you could not do anything. Look at how many stuns they threw out every single team fight.
Yeah.
It was just a crazy amount of disables, so tough time to get any Sunder off, and EG just playing so solid. Welcome back, Shiver.
Thank you. And this game, for me, you see EG with a lineup that they clearly are comfortable with. You see Cloud9 with a lineup that they are clearly comfortable with as well. And this was just, for me, it was an outplay. Am I saying that wrong? Do you agree, disagree?
I think this is a very even game, so saying it's an outplay is like, I think C9 did a great game there.
Yes. Oh,
Anyone
yes.
could have won, and I don't think you can ask for any more. This is an amazing game. Highest quality game of the LAN so far.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, remember when they're pushing high ground on the mid racks for Cloud9, pushing against the Dire team? Like, if there wasn't a force staff, for example, if Zai got picked in the base, who knew that could have been an earlier set of racks? If there was a double damage that could have spawned for Envy, that could be another set of racks. Like, I think this is one of the closest game, even though EG got 2 early racks, Cloud9 didn't give up, and they fought really well.
DD Runes did spawn earlier on, though, and Arteezy was on top of it, denying them with his wolves as well. So all these things that some other teams would not pay attention to, EG are on top of it as well, and it's just great and amazing level of Dota.
Yeah, and for Cloud9, of course, one of the things that maybe didn't go so well for them, apart from not winning the game, of course, is the laning stage wasn't really all that solid. EG was ahead on almost all fronts. Is there anything they could have done different, or was it just strong play by EG?
I think the haste rune bottom lane for Universe was pretty fortuitous. Like, they were fighting over the rune between the two of them, and unfortunately for Aoi, he didn't get it. And then he tried to go for a stomp to deny to Roshan, and obviously with a haste, it's very easy to dodge, right? So Universe gets 1 kill. Zai rotates bottom. They end up getting, I think, 2 more kills after he decides to make that rotation. And for me, Zai was the player who kind of made it all happen in the early game, right? And then he gets this Aghanims, and all of a sudden he's solo killing heroes all over the place.
I mean, core support doesn't care who it is he's killing. He's just throwing out the stunts. Really amazing performance, and yeah, as you said, fortuitous or not, he did check the rune better there. If you get there first, you can put yourself right on top of the rune, making it almost impossible for the enemy to take it from you.
Yep.
So he was first, and that is important. Nothing more to say, really.
No, he's just a very fat ogre, even fatter than he looks. But of course, we have got a break. We are going to go to a second game very soon, but before that, you're going to get some commercials to see, so perhaps some birds. Let's take a look what we got.